Greetings everybody, this is Marcel Williams again with my talks. Firstly, let me thank you all for allowing me into your personal space. Thank you for following these messages, and thank you also for those who have sent me some encouraging messages. I've recently started a YouTube channel in which you could follow past talks. Each talk, for instance, can stand on its own, but for our optimal advantage, it's good to follow them in sequence from the start, because there's a link between the various talks. At this time, let me also urge us all to keep safe, to follow our social distancing, wearing our masks and washing our hands. At serious times, people are getting ill, being hospitalized, and several people have passed. So let us do our part to stay safe. It is soon Christmas, and let me talk this time about Christmas. Basically, it's a very unusual Christmas. It's the first time in many of our lives that we're experiencing this kind of situation. There's going to be, in many cases, no family gatherings around the lunch table. Many people will be experiencing loneliness and shortages. There's going to be sadness in many instances where people have lost close family members, colleagues and friends. So the lunch feast that's usually on a Christmas is going to be limited in many cases. But be that as it may, let me talk about something that just interested me the other day. Donald Trump had a Christmas message from the White House not so long ago. And what I want to say is the response of the mainstream media by keeping silent and not covering and not broadcasting the message to the nation is indicative of this hardening of hearts towards the man, this hatred towards him. It's a perfect example of it. You know, I only know of one news channel, I think they call themselves LifeSite, that have broadcast the message to the nation. And of course, probably most of the people would not have seen it. LifeSite is also banned from YouTube because of some of the things that they've tried to say that's contrary to what the mainstream media is saying in America, for instance. But if we look closely at Donald Trump's Christmas message, it's a beautiful message. It's a Christian message. It's scriptural, number one. Number two, he laid out the gospel message very clearly. He witnessed to the reality that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that He is our Savior. So you cannot fault the message in that instance, and it's very suitable to give a message from the President of the country. You know, back in 2016, it is said that he said we are going to start saying Merry Christmas again. You know that there's a time where even here in South Africa, people never used to say Christmas, they say Xmas with an X. It's an insulting term towards Christians, and a lot of Christians actually got desensitized to it, not realizing that it's actually an insult. You know, they took the Christ out of Miss to say Xmas instead of it's actually about Jesus Christ's birth. Donald Trump is actually described as the man who brought Christmas back to America. He stood in front of a Christophobic world. In other words, a world that was anti-Christian, and he actually stood there and said what he needed to say as a Christian. So that's one of the things that we need to take note of. You know, there's a hardening of hearts, and there's an anti-Christian agenda towards Christians, believers, and we must know that the enemy, what they're up to. But let me conclude by saying thanks once again for allowing me into your personal space, and find the YouTube channel and follow and go through past talks, and it's just for me to wish you all a blessed, peaceful, and healthy Christmas. You know, in these difficult times and circumstances, let us celebrate Jesus Christ. So stay safe, stay well, and stay healthy, and live. Until next time.